Akashvani. In the program Money Talk, now we bring you a discussion on issue of front running and creating investor awareness. The participants are Naveen Gupta, former President Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and Rajesh Leikh, anchor.
It's a pleasure to have Mr. Naveen Gupta with us in the studios. A warm welcome, Naveenji.
Thank you, sir.
Can you explain what front running is and how it impacts the financial markets?
Basically, front running, I should say, is a deceptive practice where someone, be it a broker or a fund manager or a financial influencer, to put it in a broader framework, any financial intermediary regulated by SEBI is able to take advantage of the information or the privileged information that he may be having in his possession about the upcoming trades or trends from the prospective clients and make use of that information to make personal gains from that information, and that is considered as front running. As we can make out from a simple meaning of front running, it's like running ahead of certain things, preemptive attempt to make gains at the cost of some customer, or I should say country or investor, market, anything. Take the example of a broker. Financial markets we have to approach through broker. So say broker of a large PSU treasury gets order for block purchase of shares of say XYZ Limited. Now since he is aware that a big treasury is making a huge purchase of a particular share, so he knows such decision to make such purchases is backed by huge amount of research. So instead of buying the shares for that treasury for the prospective clients, he uses that information that he has, that privileged information, and before completing the transaction for the customer, if he makes a purchase on his personal account and then subsequently makes purchases for the treasury, automatically the moment that huge transaction, the trade will go into the markets, the rates are bound to go up. So he uses that privileged information for his personal gain.
So why is front running considered unethical and illegal in the context of securities trading?
Since it is misuse of privileged information which is yet to reach the market, so you are the person who is indulging in front running is misusing that information principally and is at the cost of that customer, because the split second gap by which he is preempting and making his first purchasing before actual execution of the trade that has been assigned to him, that split second may cause loss to the actual customer or the subscribers to the mutual fund. So that makes it unethical because it impacts significantly both the prices of the securities that he would be gaining at that cost, and it involves a huge number of investors. So because of that reason, that gain that is caused to him is unjustified enrichment principally. So because of that reason, it is considered as fraudulent and unfair market practice by the laws of the country.
So are there any sectors or types of securities where this practice is common?
This practice is common in basically institutional market, wherever take the case of fund managers or take the case of institutional brokers, where this practice is very prevalent. And I should say last year, SEBI debarred the fund manager, the chief dealer of Axis Mutual Fund, from accessing the security market just because of the same reason that there were allegations of, and after investigation by SEBI, certain evidences were found. So he was debarred from and restricted from accessing the market. Similar investigation is going on presently. We all must be reading in newspapers in the case of Quant Mutual Fund, where SEBI has initiated investigation, and in just recent past they have conducted many searches and seizures have taken place in the offices of Quant Mutual Fund, and taking the lead from whatever was the investigation materials, further searches were conducted even at certain suspected beneficiaries in Hyderabad. Actually, what is happening during last 10 years of present government, the asset under management, and we see, look around ourselves, we are seeing that everybody is indulging, and the space at which demat accounts and subscribers to mutual fund is increasing due to the positive policies of our present government. the asset under management has undergone 6 time multiple fold increase. Presently, in February 24, just before the just recently concluded Lok Sabha polls, the asset under management has gone up to whopping 54.54 lakh crores. It's a huge amount. So because of all these reasons, there are very common two human traits which gets triggered. One is greed for gain and second is FOMO, that is fear of missing out. So that is leading to all these fraudulent and unfair market practices.
So, are there any regulations and laws currently in place in India to prevent and penalize front running?
Yes,
and how effective are these regulations?
Basically, as far as SEBI is concerned, there are regulations, but definitely the regulatory atmosphere as far as front running in India is concerned, it is still evolving. It is covered by SEBI prohibition of fraudulent and unfair trade practices relating to security market regulation 2003, where this front running is considered as a fraudulent and unfair market practice. And once a particular trend or a transaction is considered as a fraudulent and unfair market practice, then the SEBI laws gets triggered, and there are various penal provisions and powers available with SEBI to penalize the alleged entity and similarly transactions under the SEBI law. As far as indulging in front running, once it is considered as fraudulent and unfair market practice, any person who indulges in fraudulent and unfair trade market, any person who is found can be penalized, which may extend to rupees 25 crores or 3 times the amount of profits generated through such transactions considered as front running transactions, considered as fraudulent transactions. Similarly, under section 11B of SEBI Act, it empowers SEBI to restrict people from accessing the securities market. As I just told you, in the case of Axis Mutual Fund, last year SEBI debarred and restrained the fund manager from accessing securities market for a specified period of time. Similarly, SEBI can suspend trading of that particular security which it suspects to be part of front running. Similarly, under section 24 of SEBI Act, SEBI can award penalty for the contravention of the SEBI Act, and even imprisonment provision is there. SEBI can even award imprisonment to people found indulging in front running.
Okay, Naveenji, what are the method technologies used by regulators to detect and investigate front running activities, and how can the enforcement of anti-front running regulations be improved to ensure better compliance?
One, SEBI has their own internal mechanism. They have vigilance softwares which keep on tracking such trends and trades which are happening, and there are certain regulations also. Just in April 2024, SEBI has come out with a new framework by amending SEBI Mutual Fund Regulations 1996. They have provided for enhanced regulatory framework by requiring all asset management companies to put in place a structured institutional mechanism for identification and deterrence of potential market abuses like front running and fraudulent transactions in securities. So SEBI is very much aware of these type of transactions, these type of natural human tendencies which are there. So they are undertaking, and these regulations just 2 months back are evidence that SEBI is very much aware of these trends and trends happening in the market. But investor needs to take care to avoid the risk of front running and similar fraudulent market practices. I should say there are certain tips to protect the investors from such sort of fraudulent transactions. I should say there are 7 points which I always tell my clients and investors. Be vigilant first of all. Buyer beware is the age old. Since the day I started my graduation, the first concept that was given to me is buyers beware. In capitalist market, one buyer needs to be beware. So investors need to do a lot of research. They need to keep on reading various research material which is available now. Google is a knowledge highway, so one needs to be aware and ensure you are working with trustworthy brokers, ethical people, mutual funds, influencer, etc. Just don't trust them based on certain WhatsApp links or Facebook post reaching you. Just don't be enticed by gains. Be aware. Second is diversify your portfolio. Don't don't put all eggs in single basket. This is also the basic funda. Don't put all your eggs in one market. Diversification is the essential strategy for any investor. Beware, as it helps you to reduce the impact of potential losses from any single investment which could be subjected to front running. If you are a mutual fund investor, don't put all your investment in single scheme or a one mutual fund. Diversify your portfolio. Diversify your portfolio across different classes. Choose reputable and reputed brokers and mutual funds. Select a broker with strong reputation, commitment to ethical practices. That's the key to prevent yourself getting exposed to such risk. Use limit orders. While placing orders in market through your brokers, just try to limit orders. Don't place market orders. Just try to impose limits as far as maximum price you are willing to pay or the minimum price you are willing to sell it. This will help prevent sudden price movements caused by such sort of front running practices. Break larger order if you want to buy say 10,000 shares. Just try to avoid exposing yourself and letting markets and AI know that you are placing a large order. To protect yourself, consider breaking down large orders into smaller lots, smaller ones while executing. This approach can help minimize the impact of your trades on the market and reduce the likelihood of such unethical practices hurting you.
Okay.
Monitor your trades.
But my question to you is that if SEBI is investigating any fund or any company, then what happens to the investor's money while the investigation is going on? Should the investor take out that money that is there, or should he wait for the outcome of the investigation?
Generally, what happens the moment any news breaks out that SEBI is investing into a particular scheme or a particular broker or a particular mutual fund, it's a natural human tendency. It is known as herd mentality. Immediately, everybody starts pulling out their money out of it. So it's a natural human tendency. So one tries to get out of that ship which is sinking. So I don't think any guidance on our part is going to help. It's a natural human tendency, and if SEBI is investigating, so there is a stigma attached to it. One should always try to take their money out as soon as possible. But there are certain other measures, and SEBI as a proactive regulator has provided certain avenues. If a particular person or any investor is exposed and is hit by such fraudulent market practices like front running or insider trading, I should say, it is not that they are alone. The SEBI's helping hand is always available to them, because there was one question of yours on this count also, that what happens if somebody is suspected that he may be exposed to such unethical market practices. There is a 24-hour all India toll-free helpline available, put in place by SEBI. The helpline number is 1800-266-7575. I repeat, 1800-266-7575. And similarly, if somebody has been subjected to unauthorized electronic transaction, then again there is another helpline number which is 1800-111109. I repeat, 1800-111109. These helpline numbers are in 8 languages, which are English, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Tamil, Bengali, Telugu, Kannada. And these helpline numbers are working on 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on all working days. And if somebody has filed the complaint on and has tried these helpline numbers and still wants to pursue further, then there is an online complaint portal which has been put in place by the SEBI, which is known as scores.gov.in, which is scores.gov.in. Scores means SEBI Complaint Regulation System. So one can visit this portal, and immediately SEBI gets into the mode and starts investigation, and investor money is protected, I should say.
On that note, we thank you for being with Akashvani and giving us valuable information. Thank you so much.
You were listening to a discussion on issue of front running and creating investor awareness. The participants were Naveen Gupta, former President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and Rajesh Leikh, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 9289094044.
ये आकाशवाणी